Dania Díaz is known as the Storyteller of Magic. You may know her as the Golden Buzzer finalist from Spain Got Talent or from her unforgettable performances on America's Got Talent The Champions Edition, or as a fuller of Penn Teller's Fulos. With numerous international awards, she's truly a master of blending storytelling and magic. And now let's hear from Dania herself. Welcome to a new episode in Life of Magic. Today we have a very amazing magician and a very good friend. Today, Dania Diaz.
Thank you so much for having me, Zavala. I'm very happy to be here and seeing you accomplish this new project,
Thank you.
Life of Magic.
And thank you for having me for making a little hole in your agenda.
Now, I'm free today.
Very good. I'm very lucky today. So, Dania, you have made an amazing work in your style. You are very unique in your magic. You have made amazing acts. Now, before going further into that, I would like to ask you how you discover your passion in magic.
Oh, that's a very nice question. I think I started liking magic when I was very little. The first time I saw magic, I was 10 years old.
Wow.
I saw a magician on TV, and I don't remember what magician was, but I remember that he did like the quick change act with his assistant, and I was like amazed watching the television. And for a minute, I said like, I want to do that because I felt so. How do you say? My mind was blowing up. And I went to my room and I put on some dresses and other dresses on top of that dress. And then I cut dresses and I wanted to do the same thing just to see if I could make other people in my family or friends feel the way I felt when I saw a magician. As I said, I don't remember what magician was, but I remember how I felt. And from that moment, I started being interested in little tricks. So I asked my dad to buy me magic kits for Christmas, and I remember I got a little matchbox that moved alone. The matchbox opened itself, and that was like kind of one of my first tricks. But time passed by, and I put magic aside. I started college, and like you have to have a career, you have to have a degree, and so I started tourism. And meanwhile, I was studying, I met a magician. I used to be a party recreator for kids, and when I saw this magician, I was like immediately connected to that first moment when I saw that magician for the first time. So I approached him and I told him, I love what you do, I love magic. I was very interested in magic when I was little. So he was looking for an assistant, and I think it was fate or destiny. And then we started working together. And while we were working together, I started learning not only from him, but also on my own, until I figured out that I love magic so much that all the process, like all the practice, the rehearsal, like not going out, just staying in your room and practicing, I love that part. Even sometimes more than performing itself.
Yeah.
So that's when I discovered that magic was my passion, because I think your passion is that you love both parts. You love the not such pleasant side and the pleasant side that is performing for an audience. So that's the moment I realized that I was born for this. Like, this is the path that I wanted to pursue.
Dania, and what was your biggest challenge when you were starting out?
Wow, my biggest challenge was the situation in my country. Maybe it wasn't the best to pursue such an international career where you have to buy, most of the things that you buy are from other countries.
Yeah.
And with the economical situation, it was very difficult to buy even a deck of cards. It could cost like $50.
Yeah.
And I did not have $50 for one deck of cards. So I remember I had just one, and that I used for years.
Yeah.
That one deck of cards, it was like completely
Black.
shattered. Yeah, it was black. It started white, but it was black. But that made me pursue other types of tricks, like with newspaper or things that I had at home, like rubber bands,
Yeah.
not so expensive things. Although buying books to learn, it was difficult. Buying DVDs, it was difficult. You had to really save a lot of money, and
Yeah.
to buy those things. And the good thing is that you treasure them more. It was like your world was your precious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that was one of the main challenges when I started in magic, to find ways to learn, also medias to learn. And then, well, yeah, as I said, the situation made it very difficult for me to grow up as an artist. And so I had to leave when I was 25 years old. I was doing magic for 4 years, like trying to pursue magic professionally, doing little shows for kids. But then I said, like, I need to leave. I want more opportunities. So I have to left. I think that was the biggest challenge. Left my country, my family, friends, everything, with my deck of cards, with my black deck of cards, and
Yeah.
and just say look for a new opportunity.
And now, after this, you went to Colombia. You passed by Colombia, right?
Yes, yes.
And you met many people there.
Yes, many good friends, many good magicians. I went to the I went to the magic school of Bogota, and they were like a family to me. They received me with open arms, all the magic community, all the magicians. So I started being an assistant again for other magicians, like trying to find my path, trying to find my way, trying making people to see me, to see if they like my show, and they hire me to other things. I did a lot of tours, but something in Colombia, it wasn't clicking for me. Even though I did won a prize in the Intermagic convention, that was very important, but something just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. So I decided to move again, to travel to another country. So I went to Panama, and that's where we met.
Yes, yes, that's right. And we made some little shows. You remember this, right?
We did little shows with few people,
Yeah,
two
very
or
few
three
people.
people,
Yeah,
two or
yeah,
three
yeah.
people in the audience.
I remember.
But
Yeah.
I think that's part of the journey,
Yeah.
like, and the fact that we still did those shows with 5 people in the audience, that I
Yeah.
think that's very important in a magician's career too. And it shows that we were passionate about what we do. Like, we don't care if there's 1 or 1,000, we just want to do magic for people. So yeah, I remember we had a good time in Panama. It was a very difficult time also,
Yeah.
because living out of magic in a country that, well, maybe it's not the best scenario. There weren't so many theaters, there weren't so many people that knew about magicians. So it was, for me, it was difficult. And I know for all of us, we did that. I think we did a good job, like showing magic to people and making
Yes.
them conscious that we exist and that our work is valuable. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And there is also one magician friend that you mentioned in your show a
Yeah.
lot, and is a very good friend of both.
About,
And this is Nixon.
yeah.
What happened with
What happened
you
with
you, you
Nixon?
leave something with him?
We met because of you, because you hired him to present our
Yeah.
show. And when I met him, he told me that he was like a amateur magician. And I told him, like, why don't you pursue professionally? And he said, like, no, there's no money there. I'm working in a restaurant, I make more money. And I was like, okay, it's a bummer, because I think you have the looks, you have the voice, the presence. And I think he stayed with that thought, because a couple of months later, I called him and I told him, Nixon, I'm broke. Like, you were right. I have no money trying to pursue magic, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And he said to me, I have no work either. I got fired from my work, and I don't know what to do. And I told him, I have an idea. Why don't we try to do magic in the buses, no,
Yeah.
of Panama? And he was like, yes, let's do it. I know that was something that, if it came to the point that I had to do that, I would. But do it alone, on my own, it was very scary. So having him as a companionship, as a partner, for me, it made it more easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we shake hands and we say, okay, let's do it. And we jumped on the first bus, and it was like the most scariest thing I've ever done. Just the fact to say, good afternoon, and everyone looking at you weird, like, who's
Yeah.
this people? Like, hi, Dania, I'm a magician. This is my friend Nixon. He's a magician also, and even more weirder looks we got. But after that, we felt more comfortable with each performance, and we started to make money. At first we did little, then we made more, and we did that like for a month or two, and then I found another job, and then I left Panama, but Nixon stay in the buses, and that's a really cool story that you should bring him here
Yeah,
and
yeah,
tell,
yeah.
because he stayed doing magic in buses, and he became like the best
Yeah.
magician in buses in Panama. And I was very happy for him because like a year later he was doing professional magic, and he was like building his company, and now you see him and he's another person, like
A mega star.
he's a mega star, and that I'm very happy to have been part of his journey also.
Yeah, yeah. Now, after this big adventure in Panama, you went to another place.
Yes,
This was Spain, right?
exactly.
What happened there?
Well, first of all, I came to Spain because I felt in Panama that I was stuck. Like there were Panama gave me everything, gave me a lot of friends, it made me feel like at home. But professionally, I needed like bigger opportunities,
Mm.
and I decided to move to Spain because Spain is like the capital of magic in Europe. And I said, well, if I don't make it there, maybe I learn from that school, because here is, well, Tamariz school, many other magicians that I really admire. So I said, okay, let's try it. I don't have anything to lose. I've been jumping from country to country, and now I know how to adapt. I know how to do it. So it was less scary. The only thing that scared me, it was I was going to be more far from my family,
Yeah.
like a whole ocean in between, and it was more expensive to go back and visit. So I don't know, call it intuition. I said I have to go, and I came to Spain. The first time I came to a competition in the National of Magic in Spain, and I won a prize. And then I came back to Panama, and then I got a call to perform at a festival in Murcia.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, amazing. And this is the opportunity. I have to stay. Like if the opportunity came that fast, I have to stay there because maybe there's more for me. So I came here. I did the festival in Murcia, and I stayed there living for 6 months or so. And living there, I got a call from the TV show called Got Talent, Spain Got Talent, where they were looking for magicians to perform the audition. And I said, of course,
Of course.
of course, call me in. Like this was like for a person that leave everything behind, just trying to make a name out of nothing.
Yes.
This is a really huge opportunity. So for me, it was very important. So I said yes immediately without knowing what I was going to do in that audition, what magic. And I think that was the challenge, because you have one shot to make an impression. The first
Yeah.
impression is the one that counts. And um, first I had an idea of doing something with a tablet and with card, a selected card, and having a conversation with myself through the tablet. And it was not a bad idea, but it could have been done by me or any other magician. And I was looking to do something more authentic, more personal, and something that really identifies me as a person and as a magician. So when I thought about doing a story with cards, that was something that I was in my mind since many years ago, but I never knew what to tell. I'm not good at inventing. Like how do I say? I get inspired by my own stories, by my personal life. So I said, okay, I will talk about where I'm from, about Venezuela. And then I said, okay, but I have to say something about myself. And so I started writing. For me, it's been an important tool to my magic. And I started writing like the story of my life. And when I finished it, I just passed that to a deck of cards and started using the regular cards. And then I needed like words, and then I got blank cards and writing the words that I needed. And then I said, okay, I'm done. When I did it for the first time, I cried. I made me cry, and I know that when I made me cry, it's good. It's good because it's real, you know. And I think when you do something real, the audience connect more. So, but at that moment, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I've never done this type of magic, so emotional, so personal. I was a bit scared about how people were going to react, because till this point I was doing comedy magic. I was doing magic like, standard magic, the magic that we all know, entertain, and that's it, and amaze. But in this moment, something clicked, and I said like, okay, this is what I have to do. I think this is the my presentation card. Okay, so perfect. And I went to the audition. I did the story of my life, and it was the best decision I've made.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my life changed from that moment. I got the golden buzzer. My video went viral. I
Yeah.
started receiving a bunch of emails, calls, message through Instagram and through social media. And even the next day that my video aired, I went out. I took the bus, went to I did a show in the downtown of Madrid, and people were starting to point it at me, and I was like, what? No, really, like, people, are they recognizing me?
Yeah.
But they saw it like just last night, and it was like really, really crazy experience, but it was cool. um and yeah, it was something life changing.
Yep. I remember I saw that episode where you were, and when I saw you doing the thing, I realized that I was crying,
Wow.
and my mom was crying. Everybody was crying because I was showing this to everybody, and I was so proud of you that you
Thank you.
came here, that you killed it, and I'm very happy for you.
And I'm happy that you saw it, because for me, you are part of this story. Many of my friends are part of this, and I know that I share this feeling with
Yeah.
all of you. Like, we struggle, we fought, we did magic in the streets, did magic for three people. We canceled many shows, and all everything behind. So
Yeah.
for me, it's very special that you feel that way, and then you share that experience with me.
Dania, this experience of Spain Got Talent make you realize what you wanted to focus on in magic?
Totally. I mean, the fact that it gave me a lot of exposure, it made me realize that I people were expecting from me the thing that they saw on TV, and I did wanted to give them that, but I've never done that type of magic. That was my first time. And I started thinking about what I wanted, what was going to be my path in magic, where do I feel comfortable. And of course, I love making people laugh. And I used to do a lot of comedy magic. But when I started noticing that uh, doing magic that connects through other emotions, I discovered a new world,
Yeah.
a new world of possibilities. And since I was little, I love writing, but I never combine magic and my writing with, oh, I write poetry, I write stories. And I said, okay, I should do this because this is more me, this is more authentic. And if people connected through my story, maybe they connect to through other things that I write. So I said, okay, let's give it a try. And I started doing stories through my magic and combining storytelling and magic. And that became kind of my signature uh, brand. I don't know how to call it, but people can relate not only with my magic, but with my stories. So for me, um, that opened a new door, that it invite people to my world, because magic is about surprise, yes, You go from here to here, but in the path you can play with many emotions. You can make them laugh, you can make them cry, you can make them curious, you can make them scared, many emotions that you can play with that can make this moment more special and more memorable. But for me it's everything, not only this part that is important, but for me it's the whole experience and what people takes from that show or from that routine. So yeah, for me it marked an before and an after, and it changed the perspective of my magic. And now I have like um, a very clear brand. Dania is magic and storytelling and emotional and inspiring.
And you became an expert.
Okay, and I try every day to learn more and more about this, because I wanted to know why it worked so much with why it connected so much, and I started discovering that storytelling is everything. Everything in any career that you have, storytelling is like the main point. Uh, Political, sports, artists, everything that you do, you tell a story. Even now, I'm telling you a story, and that's how we are connected. So,
and you took this act also to America Got Talent, but not the normal one. This was the edition of The Champion.
Wow, that was very amazing. I received a call from AGT where they told me that they wanted to have me in the regular audition. And at that moment, I couldn't get out of Spain because of my paper situation. I couldn't leave the country. So I couldn't do America's Got Talent, the normal edition. Then a year after, I received another call and they say, look, we don't want you in the normal edition. We want you in a special edition called the Champions. And I was like so happy and so excited, because for me, it was like they value what I do and they value my work, and they want me on that stage with other winners of Golden Buzzer, or even winners in their country of the show. So it was an honor. Actually, it was an honor. I was completely shocked. So yeah, I went there and I did America's Got Talent, the Champions. Did my routines. I met Simon Cowell. That it was for me like, I don't know, so surreal. I cannot explain, but yeah, it was a really cool experience.
No, it was not also this. You also create an act that was very original, and I love it, for Fulos.
Yes. Another show. I love TV shows. And yes, this is an idea that I had many years ago, but I couldn't find the method to do it. So I let it there, just sitting there, catching dust. And I received a call from Fulas and I said to them, look, I have this idea. I will try to make it possible, to perform in the show. I'm going to work on it. I will give you a call. We'll send you a video. But I didn't have anything. I mean, it was everything in my head, and I still couldn't find the method. And I talked to a few friends, and then I decided I needed professional help. Okay. So I decided to call Adrian Garratala. Thinking Paradox is this company that they are magician advisors. So I called him and I said, look, I have this idea. I need help with method. I cannot reach like a perfect method to pull us. And they said, we love the idea. We're going to do it with you. Perfect. So we teamed up and we created this trick that it was in my mind. So they did it in real life. They materialized it. And like in a week, we had it. And then I did the video and I sent it to Fulas and they loved it. And well, it was pandemic at that time, so I recorded from Vitoria-Gasteiz in a beautiful castle. So that's where I did the Red Thread of Destiny for the first time. And when when it aired with Penn Teller live, I flew it.
Wow.
It was very fun.
I didn't know this part about this team up that you did.
Really?
No.
I told you. Yes.
No, I
you
don't
forgot.
remember.
Yeah, we did. I mean, they are really good. They are very creative. I think that you should know as a magician what are your how do you say capacities. I'm very good creating ideas. I can create you a whole show of ideas where something happened here and there. But I'm the part that I struggle with is the method, like a good method, because I can come up with a regular method, but a good method. Um, there are magicians that are really good at it. Yeah. So that's why we have a beautiful community and many good friends that can help you with that. But they work really fast and they work really good. They have something like they have their own method to find methods and
Yeah.
to build methods. And so yeah, for me it was a really good experience with them. And the nice thing about this is that now I have my own trick.
Yeah.
Like I have my baby and I have been doing it for many years now. And it got me the fullest prize that is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's great.
Dania, I have seen your show many times.
Mhm. Thank
Many,
you.
many times.
Thank you for have come here 1,000 times.
And this show is called La Maga.
La Maga,
In English, how
the
would they-
female magician.
the female magician.
Yeah.
And I feel that this show, your actual style is very emotional, is storytelling driven, is very unique. I never have seen something like this because it's very authentic. When I see you talking, telling stories, I feel this is Dania having a conversation with me, and I feel this is for everybody that is watching your show. Now, I would like to ask you, what tools have you discovered to make your magic like this?
Wow. Well, the first of all is the storytelling. We usually give more importance to the trick and to the techniques than to the story that we're going to tell. Um, and I discovered that storytelling is a very important tool to connect with the audience, to engage. And besides that, it's been a journey of personal discovery that we all magicians should have. I mean, I know not everyone is into that, but I think we should continue looking for who we are.
Yeah.
The authenticity is another important thing for me in my personal life, but also in my professional life. And as a magician, I combine both. You are like your personal part and your professional part. They combine and they so they get bigger on stage. Something like that. I want to say. So the authenticity, the storytelling, and to find what you really feel comfortable with on stage and showing to the audience, showing to people. We all have a unique self. We all have something that set us apart from other people, not from other magicians, from other people. You are unique. You have something special. You have to find it, and that is not easy. You cannot find it in one day. No, you have to each day ask you ask you questions and answer those questions. And look, it's a journey of discovering yourself. So I think that's an important tool that for me has made me who I am and who I am in magic also.
What do you think it makes a magic act truly unforgettable for an audience?
I think the closeness, and it's difficult for stage magicians. I'm sorry, but as a performer, as a magician that do close-up magic, the closer they are, the more engaged they are, the more comfortable I think, and they feel more part of it. They feel like they know you, and they are friends. Like they're in the living room of your house having fun. And when you make the audience feel comfortable, they enjoy it much more. So when they enjoy it much more, they will never forget because they spent an amazing night with a friend.
Yeah.
And that things is one of the key. But also when you do a stage magic is another challenge because how do you get if the people are so far away? I think there are ways to get to that point. How do you communicate? No, that I have to repeat again the authenticity that you transmit and how you connect with the audience and that it doesn't feel script,
Yeah.
that it feels natural, that it's flowing.
Yeah, that's what I actually feel in your show.
Yeah, I think that's something that people value.
Yeah.
And then I get a lot of comments on the show for that. So that's why I think that's something that it makes people never forget about you and your show, but especially about you.
Absolutely. Do you have any specific secret or method that allows you to integrate a story into an effect?
Well, first of all, if you want to learn about telling a story, you have to learn about storytelling, right? So I would invite all of the magicians or person that want to combine stories and magic to read about storytelling, how to create a good story. Okay. There are many structures. There are basic structures that work very well. Find a good structure that works for you and tell something that you feel comfortable with. Tell something that it means something to you. If it means something to you, I'm sure that you will connect because authenticity connects with the audience. So find something that you really like, a theme that you like, and create a story from that. But look for storytelling structures that help you create that. Now with ChatGPT, don't abuse with that, but it helps when you don't know how to write like a whole script. You can just have an idea and maybe develop. And and then think maybe what trick you can adapt to that story. If you cannot find a trick that can adapt to that story, then find a trick that you like and try to find a story to adapt it.
Yeah.
So it could work both ways. For me, sometimes works one way and the other, but uh, it's okay, either way. So yeah, learn about storytelling, find a structure, find a trick, and combine it to the and create a story that adapts, or create a story and find a trick that adapts to that story. But the main thing is that you really like what you're talking about, and it's real. You're not talking about something that you don't care and you think people care and you do it because of people caring. No, do it because it's something that you really enjoy.
Do you think authenticity plays a big role on this?
It's everything. For me, the authenticity, it makes a magician a good magician. I mean, if I see some magicians that I really, really like watching and that I admire, David Williamson, you see David Williamson on stage and you can see that this person is like that, maybe in his regular life, like
Yeah.
it's very authentic. It's very authentic. That was what makes him unique and so funny. And also Dania Ortiz. When you are watching a show with Danny, it's like you're having dinner with Danny. It's almost the same, only with more people. And Radagast from Argentina, when I met him, like he shines the personal life and also on stage, but he's so authentic, and I think it really connects with people when you start find. But that cannot happen from one day to the other. You have to do the work. You know, you
Yeah.
have to what really what and how do you find your authenticity? Trying things. What do I like? What do I enjoy? What are my hobbies? What are my passions? Why do I scare this? Why do I love this? Why do I all of that is what makes you you. And from that you can create so many things, so many good stories. You can create that because everything that's going on in your head maybe is happening in other people's head. And from that it connects to personal experiences. But also, if you don't want to involve personal experiences, just being you, it makes you unique. It makes you memorable.
What do you think is important in a magic show or in a magician?
Ah, that they really enjoy what they are doing, that they're really having a good time on stage. Um, I think for me, that's the most important part in a magic act. And we all like different types of show. And I know as a magician, I enjoy certain magic more than others. But I really, really like when it makes sense. The magic that you do in a whole show, each routine makes sense one with the other. You know, it flows like a river. There's something that connects each routine to the other. It's an evolution, and it makes you enjoy that journey. And it starts with something, but it ends with other thing that it evolves. It makes it more special, you know. And when there's something behind every magic, every routine, oh, obviously I care about the techniques. Obviously everything has to be polished. It has to be on in its point. But that's the magician work. Every magician knows that. But what it makes it feel like you're watching a movie, but in every part there's something that amazes you. But at the end, you feel like you experience so many things. For me, that's what makes a good show. You know, not just trick after trick after trick. It gets bored. And also that thing about when I see magicians describe every move they're making, like I'm gonna grab this deck of cards, I'm gonna shuffle, pick any card, look at it, and you remember, and you put it here. I'm gonna shuffle again. I mean, it's like I'm watching like an auto description of the show. Like I know what you're doing, but why are you telling me
Yeah.
that you? But that's something that we all do when we start. I think we have to change that and make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that for me is important in the magic show.
Okay.
That is not describing everything, and it has connection, each routine with the other.
Dania, you integrate a lot of your personal stories into your magic,
Mhm.
but you also do it for other people, for companies. How is
Yes.
this?
Wow. Well, that started when the first time I was on Spain Got Talent. I received a message from this guy that wanted me to create what I did on my audition, like the story of my cards, but he wanted me to tell the story of how he met his future wife.
Wow.
And he wanted me to tell that story at his wedding as a surprise to his bride. And I was like, okay, I think I can. It was going to be the first story I write and create for someone else. For it was a challenge, a huge challenge because okay, you can tell your own story. It's easy because you know your story.
Yeah.
But to tell other people's story, you don't know if they're gonna like the way that you tell it, if they're gonna like how you build it, or the cards, the images, the pictures, whatever, and if it's going to be in the level that they want. So it was a huge challenge, but that moment, from that moment, it started how do you call it? A new show that I offer, and that is the main thing that I do right now. Like I create personal stories with cards for events, weddings, a lot of companies. I do for birthday, anniversaries. I have done it for professional football players, where I tell their professional career, every
Wow.
accomplishment they have done, and mostly if they're for people, they're like an homenaje,
How much?
homage.
I think. We put some title.
They're like a homage. No sé, creo que es
No, no.
así. A
Uh,
tribute.
a tribute.
Okay, so and they're like a tribute to that person, that someone want to give as a present. But also for companies, they really really care about everything personalized for them. So their clients or the employees, they feel connected. They are more motivated. So most of these stories are very inspiring stories about the company, about the people, every accomplished they have created, they have done, and it it opened a new window in my shows. It takes time. It takes a lot of hours to create and to practice and to rehearse and to learn the script and to learn the position of the cards and the movements and the magic tricks that are going to happen. But it's a process that I really enjoy, and I have been finding a method to do that more easier. And now I just create stories with cards for a living. That's my
Wow.
main income.
Dania, you have been very present in social media from a long time. And how important do you feel is working your social media as a magician?
Well, these days it's very important to have an image in social media. I know it's not for everyone. It's for me it's difficult, even though that I like to create content. I like to create videos doing magic, but I know some days you are just not inspired,
Yeah.
and you are just not motivated to upload a new video or create a new routine for this the for yeah. but um but I think it's important to just have presence, and you don't have to upload a video every day if that's something that you're interested in. But it's important to be present, to have a presence, to upload what you do, maybe photos of your shows, very small clips. Like, take advantage of that. If you do a lot of shows, just record yourself doing like a small clip and upload that so people can see you perform live and they say, oh, this person does this. Try to captivate very cool moments of reactions, maybe. And that will give you some presence in social media. For me, it's been it's a really huge platform for where I get jobs and where I get audience also that comes to my shows. And I do a lot of publicity there of my shows. And for me it's important to have a presence, to upload videos. But now I don't like torture myself that I have to create something every day for social media. I just know that I have something that I want to show. I will show it. I will make it. If I have an idea, I will make it and upload it. um and that's just the way that I work. And I put most of my work in the shows, the live shows, obviously, because we as a magicians, we have to work so many hours creating, rehearsing, and just to have time to record, edit everything. It can be overwhelmed. So organize yourself, put the focus on what you think is important, but don't let social media like totally aside. Try to take care of it eventually.
Who are your biggest influences in magic and what have you learned from them?
Wow. Okay. From each one of them. Um, well, Paul Harris, for me, it's been a big, huge influence because um, I learned from him how to do, like, to think outside of the box. Every trick that I've seen of Paul Harris, it blows my mind because it's so different. Like, it's unexpected. He does things with cars that, like, ripped cars, like, I love that, all the manual work and that people don't expect that you take a car and you tear it apart or whatever. And I mean, he's very creative in that way, that he thinks very outside of the box. And also I like Tina Lenner, of course, also because she's Venezuelan, huh? But yeah,
Wow,
she was born
really?
in Venezuela. Yeah, but she left when she was very little.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And I created a routine, a stage routine, where I'm on a date and it tells a story. That actually, with this routine I won several prizes, and I added a little and I added a little part in that routine, inspired of Tina Lenner's act. where a hand comes out of my purse and it starts like doing my makeup. And for me, she's a huge influence as a female magician. Also seeing her combine like theater and magic and also telling a story.
Yeah.
And for me, that's very impact me very much in my magic. Also, Ekaterina Dobrokotova, she's a Russian magician. She lives in Canada, and I'm very happy that I can call her a friend because she helped me a lot in this journey. And also, when I saw her from the first time, I saw her on YouTube. I was so inspired by her. It was the first female magician I saw doing cardistry, and I said, wow, if she can do it, I can do it, and we all women can do it. And I really got very involved in cardistry, and flourishing. And she did such amazing videos, and I just loved what she do. And she was also very, very important part of my um, develop as a magician and as a cardistry. And I have to say Juan Esteban Varela is ¿cómo se dice chileno?
Chilean.
Chilean. ¿Se dice
I think maybe.
He's a magician from Chile.
Yeah.
And I met him when he was starting in magic, and I just sat one night, talked to him, and I I said to him, "You are my teacher. You are my mentor."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I'm not. Yes, you are." And I think he's very very smart, and he's like a library, a magician's library. In his mind, he has many information because he studied so much, but he's also very creative, and he pushes me. Like you have to be more authentic. You have to do your own tricks. Just stop buying tricks, start doing your own things, and he's a very good motivator. And yeah, I think those are the main. Maybe René Lavant also, that combines poetry and magic and storytelling and magic. Also, um, it makes me feel like, okay, I can continue through this path because René Lavant is like a huge influence for magicians, and not all magicians can do what René Lavant did. But I got very inspired by him doing that.
What magicians will you find interesting to be interviewed here?
You should bring Juan Esteban Varela, as I said. And also, you should call Giselle from Peru. She's living in Barcelona. She's an amazing magician. And also Ines, that is here in Madrid. Let's hope that she wants to come. And maybe Gabriel Gascon, also from Chile. He's living here. He does magic with sponge balls. He has revolution the SpongeBob magic industry. So and Luis Hotel also, that is here. You should call him. He's from Venezuela. He's a teacher for us, and I think with those you have a lot of work.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk.
Yeah.
What advice will you give to a magician that is starting and want to make a professional career with this?
That you have to find your own path. It's important to have references. For me, having people that have made huge things in magic, it inspired me. And it may be that path is already made by this person, and you can try to see what steps they take, but also try to create your own path. I don't I would say that in my experience, don't skip any step. Don't try to jump from this place to this place, because you're missing out on all of this, like doing magic for kids, like having that experience, different types of experiences and different types of audiences, places, venues. The experience is more important than knowledge. For me, that's the advice that I can give you. The more you perform, okay, the better magician you become. So that's my advice. And also practice, but you already know that. But the more you perform, the better magician you become. I think that's the advice.
Do you think for the big finale of this interview, can you make some magic of yours?
I can make a little thing, okay? Just for your audience. I have rubber bands that I love to carry with me. And you see, magic is all about defying the laws of physics, right? And physics says that a solid cannot pass through other solid. That means these two rubber bands cannot pass through each other. But because magic don't understand about physics, anything
Wow.
is possible. But the thing that I love more about magic is that when we start, we all dream about reaching the stars. We point very high and we mostly point to the brightest star. But to 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 reach for the stars, the secret is to create and to think that that star is really you.
Wow.
This is for you. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you, Dania. Dania, thank you so much for being here, for sharing your thoughts, for sharing your opinions, and for all the advices that you are giving us. I know it will be very useful for us.
Thank you. I hope.
And I will leave now the cameras to you so you can say whatever you want to close this interview.
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It was really fun. I'm very honored and excited about this whole show, this podcast, Life of Magic, that I love the name. And first of all, thank you for being here to this point, for listening to everything that we all talked in this podcast. If there's something I want you to keep from this is that we all have a story to tell, and every story is important. Don't forget that.